The modern world fades behind you as we step into the quiet of the Roman Forum. This evening, we leave all noise and worry for a solitary walk through history, guided only by the soft, fading light of dusk. You will gain a profound sense of peace, a quiet mind ready for deep and restorative sleep. What forgotten whispers do these ancient stones hold, and what timeless calm can they offer us now? What does true silence feel like in a place that once echoed with the voices of an empire? The ancient cobblestones of the Via Sacra feel surprisingly smooth underfoot, worn down by countless footsteps over 2,000 years. This is the sacred way, the very heart of ancient Rome, and your path now leads gently downward into the heart of the past. On either side, the silhouettes of ruins climb toward the deep indigo sky, their broken columns and arches like dark sentinels keeping watch. A cool evening breeze drifts through the open space, carrying the clean, mineral scent of damp stone and the rich, pungent aroma of earth that has witnessed centuries. Somewhere in the distance, the persistent, gentle trickle of a fountain provides a steady, rhythmic whisper, a sound that seems to measure the slow passage of time itself. The air feels heavy with memory, yet light with a profound and settling peace. Each step forward is a step further away from the modern world, a quiet pilgrimage into silence. Your path curves gently, and a solitary, magnificent arch rises before you, standing guard over the sacred way. This is the Arch of Titus, a monument of white marble that seems to capture the last of the twilight, glowing with a soft, internal light. Its form is both imposing and deeply serene, a single, perfect frame through which you can see the star-dusted sky. Come closer and let your eyes trace the stories carved into its stone. On the inner walls, intricate reliefs depict a triumph long faded into silence. You can see the sacred treasures from the temple in Jerusalem being carried in procession, men lifting a great menorah, its details still sharp against the weathered marble. Yet these are not scenes of clamor or chaos, they are frozen moments, a captured breath. The marble itself is cool to the touch, its surface smoothed by wind and rain over nearly 2,000 years. The deep grooves of the carvings feel like ancient braille under your fingertips, telling a tale of victory that has long since lost its voice. There is no cheering crowd here now, no clatter of chariot wheels, only a profound and encompassing silence. What does such a monument become when the empire it celebrated is dust, and the only sound is the gentle sigh of the night breeze through its open passage? It is no longer a boast but a meditation, a quiet testament to the fact that all triumphs, no matter how grand, eventually return to peace. Leaving the arch solitary frame behind, the path opens onto a space dominated by a colossal shadow. Ahead, the Basilica of Maxentius rises like a mountain range carved by time, its three remaining vaults immense arches of brick against the night. These are not mere ruins, they are the skeleton of a giant. Step inside what was once the roofed hall, and the world seems to fall away. Your footsteps slow, your breath deepens as you stand within this cavern of history. Above, the vaults are broken open to the heavens, their curved ribs tracing patterns against a tapestry of stars. The scale is not crushing but humbling, a reminder of ambition so vast it could only be answered by silence. A soft, blue-white moonlight filters down through the gaps where the coffered ceiling once shone with gold, painting the ancient brick in gentle, shifting patterns. It is a cathedral of quiet, where the only prayer is the rustle of a stray leaf skittering across the worn floor. Can you feel the peace that has settled in the absence of all that noise and power? This space was built for the roar of 1,000 voices, for the business of an empire, yet now it holds a deeper purpose as a sanctuary for the night and for a quiet mind. Ahead, the temple of Antoninus and Faustina stands with a quiet dignity that the larger ruins have lost to time. Its facade is a row of immense cypress green columns, holding up a heavy stone entablature as if they have been waiting just for you. This is not a broken shell, but a nearly complete structure, its preservation a small miracle in this field of fragments. The steps leading up to its door are worn in the center, a gentle dip created by the footsteps of the devoted 2,000 years ago. The temple was a gift from an emperor to his empress, a final, monumental act of love. After Faustina died, a heartbroken Antoninus had this temple built in her honor, and when he too passed, it was dedicated to them both. The stone seems to hold that memory, not of imperial power, but of a man's enduring devotion to his wife. It speaks of a love that sought to defy oblivion itself. The silence here feels different from the cavernous quiet of the basilica. It is a tender, personal silence. You can almost sense the echo of that ancient grief, not as a sorrow, but as a profound and lasting commitment. The night air feels softer here, the stars a little brighter above the temple's solemn roof. What remains when empires fall and triumphs fade? Perhaps it is this simple human truth that love is the most persistent memory of all. Let that gentle story settle your thoughts, a soothing narrative of loyalty that has outlasted centuries of noise. A narrow path leads you away from the grand temples and into a more secluded space, a quiet courtyard surrounded by the low walls of a forgotten home. This is the house of the Vestal Virgins, and the air itself feels different here, hushed and reverent. 3 long rows of pedestals stand in the soft grass, and upon them are the statues of the women who once lived here, their features worn smooth by time into ghostly, serene masks. Their stone eyes seem to gaze into the night with a timeless calm. Between these silent figures you can trace the outlines of a garden, where the faint, sweet scent of night-blooming jasmine might still linger, a fragrant memory of a well-tended, sacred place. This was not a house of politics or war, but a sanctuary of quiet devotion. For centuries, these chosen women performed their most sacred duty, tending the eternal flame of Rome in the nearby temple. Their lives were a vow of silence and service, a constant, gentle ritual that ensured the empire's hearth never grew cold. Can you feel the echo of that profound peace? It was a life dedicated not to noise, but to the soft rustle of robes, the quiet crackle of a single, undying flame, the whispered prayers that hung in the air like incense. That deep, abiding tranquility has seeped into the very soil here, a calming historical echo that asks nothing of you but to breathe it in. The silence here is not empty, it is filled with the gentle presence of their long, watchful vigil. A final turn in the path leads you to a secluded corner where the air grows cooler and carries a faint, clean scent of wet stone. Here lies the sacred spring of Juturna, a quiet pool of dark water sheltered by a low wall of ancient brick. Its surface is a perfect, unmoving mirror, capturing the deep indigo of the night sky and the sharp, silver pinpricks of stars. This was no ordinary fountain, but a place the Romans believed was touched by the divine, a gateway to the underworld where the water nymph Juturna dwelled. For centuries, people came here not just to drink, but to listen, to seek oracles in the water's whisper. Now, the only oracle is the profound stillness itself. Lean closer and observe your own reflection, blurred and softened into shadow by the dark water. The frantic, scattered thoughts of the day begin to lose their edges, merging into the quiet darkness of the pool, until your mind feels as still and calm as the water's surface. From a crack in the ancient stonework comes a single, solitary drip of water. Listen for it, a clear, pure note that breaks the silence only to deepen it. Another drop falls, then another, each one a perfect, measured pulse in the quiet of the night. This is not a rhythm to follow, but one to surrender to, a natural lullaby that has echoed here for millennia, patiently washing away the noise of the world, one drop at a time. That gentle, rhythmic dripping fades behind you as your steps lead toward the center of the great square. A wide, low platform of weathered stone emerges from the shadows, its edges softened by time. This is the rostra, the very stage from which the fate of empires was once declared. Cicero himself stood here, his voice thundering across the forum, swaying the crowd with his powerful oratory. But tonight there are no words, the silence is absolute. The stones underfoot are cool and solid, their surfaces pitted and scarred, yet they radiate a deep and unexpected tranquility. They have absorbed all the noise, all the passion and anger and ambition, and have transmuted it into a profound and lasting peace. You can stand where history's greatest speakers stood, not to hear their echoes, but to appreciate the beautiful quiet that has finally settled in their place. Look up from the platform. The night sky stretches above, an endless, dark canopy dotted with cold, bright stars. They are the same stars that shone down on those frantic crowds, listening in rapture or in rage. Now they look down on you in perfect silence. The space feels sacred, not for the power that was once projected from here, but for the powerful absence of it. What remains when the last echo of the most powerful speech has faded? Only this, a deep and healing quiet that asks for nothing and offers everything. It is a quiet that feels earned, a reward for all the centuries of noise. Let that quiet seep into you, a balm for a mind accustomed to constant sound. A gentle reminder that every argument, every plea, every shout eventually returns to this, a peaceful surrender to the night. A short distance from the rostra, a heavy bronze door stands slightly ajar, leading into one of the most complete buildings in the entire forum. This is the Curia Julia, the Senate House of ancient Rome. Step across its threshold and the outside world vanishes. The air inside is still and cool, carrying the faint, clean scent of ancient marble. The silence here is not merely an absence of sound. It is a dense, resonant presence that seems to fill the vast, square chamber from floor to ceiling. Your footsteps, however soft, echo faintly against the polished stone floor, each one a brief intrusion that is quickly swallowed by the quiet. High above, the light from a single, high window cuts a sharp beam through the dimness, illuminating motes of dust dancing in a slow, timeless waltz. This was once the heart of Roman political life, a room that echoed with the passionate, furious, and cunning debates that shaped the destiny of the Western world. The very air that once vibrated with Cicero's indictments and Cotto's stubborn convictions now holds its breath. Find a place on the wide, cool marble steps that rise along the walls, the very seats where hundreds of senators once plotted, argued, and decided the fates of millions. Sit for a moment in this profound stillness. The heated speeches on war and taxes, the whispered conspiracies, the roaring disagreements that once filled this space have all dissipated, their energy spent, their urgency long expired. All that remains is a deep, settled peace, a silence that feels like a long-held exhale after centuries of shouting. What becomes of all that human ambition and conflict? It finds its final resolution not in victory or defeat, but in a quiet so complete it feels like a form of grace. This chamber is no longer a place of strategy, but a sanctuary where history itself has finally found rest. A final, gentle slope of the path descends toward a sunken, open space guarded by a low iron fence. Here, the ground is paved not with common stone, but with slabs of ancient, polished black marble. This is the lapis niger, the black stone, one of the forum's oldest and most enduring mysteries. The marble is dark as a night without stars, its surface gleaming dully under the moonlight, a stark and solemn contrast to everything around it. An aura of deep antiquity hangs over this spot, a feeling of something so old its original meaning has been lost to the centuries. Ancient Roman writers themselves were puzzled by it, recording legends that it marked a cursed grave. Some whispered it was the tomb of Romulus, the city's mythical founder, while others believed it held the remains of a shepherd named Faustulus who raised the twin brothers. The very ground was said to be sacred or perhaps accursed, a place where bad fortune would befall any who defiled it. Yet tonight there is no sense of dread, only a profound and fascinating quiet. The mystery is not a threat, but an invitation for a drifting mind to gently explore. who or what truly lies beneath this dark stone, the answer is lost, and that is its gift. It is a question without an urgent need for a solution, a peaceful enigma that has slumbered here for over 2,000 years. There is a deep comfort in such an ancient, unsolved puzzle. It reminds us that not everything needs to be known, that some secrets are meant to rest, allowing our own thoughts to settle and grow quiet alongside them. Let your mind rest on this dark, silent mystery, not to solve it, but to appreciate its enduring, peaceful presence in the heart of the sleeping forum. Ahead, the 8 surviving columns of the Temple of Saturn stand as a broken crown against the night sky. They are not a complete structure, but a magnificent fragment, their white marble capitals holding up a section of entablature as if defying the very gravity of time. The columns themselves are deeply fluted, their vertical grooves casting long, slender shadows in the moonlight, creating a rhythm of light and dark that draws the eye upward. This was the temple of a god with 2 faces, Saturn, the ruler of a lost golden age and the keeper of time itself. He was also a god of the harvest, of sowing and reaping, of the natural cycles that govern all life. There is a profound comfort in this duality, a reminder that endings are as natural as beginnings, that the quiet of night is as essential as the activity of day. The relentless forward march of time, which can feel so frantic in our modern lives, finds its natural counterpoint here in this peaceful ruin. The temple's own state of graceful decay is a testament to this cycle, a beautiful surrender to the very force it once sought to honor. Can you feel the deep, rhythmic patience of this place? It does not fight the darkness, but embraces it as part of the eternal turn of seasons, of growth and rest. Just as the harvest follows the seed and the night follows the day, our own waking minds require this deep, nourishing silence. The temple's grand, broken columns do not speak of loss, but of a cycle completed, a gentle permission to let go of the day and surrender to the restorative dark. From the sunken mystery of the black stone, a gentle ramp leads upward, guiding you along the western edge of the forum. Here, a long, shadowed facade stretches into the night, built into the very slope of the Capitoline Hill. This is the Tabularium, the state archive of ancient Rome, and it feels less like a building and more like the silent, stone memory of the empire itself. You walk beneath its deep, dark arcades, a procession of massive stone arches that recede into shadow. The air is cool and still within this covered passage, the silence so profound it feels like a physical presence. This was the repository for Rome's most important documents, the endless scrolls of laws, treaties, and decrees that governed the lives of millions. Can you sense the weight of all those stories, all those countless quieted voices? It is not a heavy or oppressive feeling, but one of immense comfort, like being wrapped in a thick, soft blanket woven from the threads of history. Every law passed, every contract signed, every edict issued was eventually brought here, its urgent noise fading as it was rolled and shelved in the quiet dark. All the frantic energy of administration, the arguments over borders and taxes, the endless paperwork of an empire has been distilled into this peaceful, sleeping silence. The arcade's rhythmic arches create a soothing visual pattern, a corridor of calm that holds you safe and secure. All the world's business eventually finds its rest, and here, in the shadowy embrace of this ancient archive, you can feel that ultimate, gentle truth settling around you. The secrets held within these walls are no longer urgent, they are simply stories waiting in the dark. Their once loud demands now just a soft, collective whisper that invites your own thoughts to grow quiet and still. Above the silent arcades of the Tabularium, the sky reveals its own slow story. The last deep orange glow of the Umbrian sun has long since vanished, and in its place the cool, silver light of the Phrygian moon now reigns. To the people who walked these stones, these were not merely celestial objects, they were Sol and Luna, deities who drove their chariots across the heavens each day and night. The sun was a god of oaths and light, his passage a constant, reliable promise. The moon was his serene counterpart, a goddess who measured the months and watched over the mysteries of the night. Their eternal, alternating journey across this very sky was the heartbeat of Roman life, a rhythm as natural as breathing. Now, as the moon climbs higher, its gentle light seems to wash the entire forum in a liquid silver, softening every broken edge and deepening every shadow. The frantic pace of the sunlit world feels a universe away. Under this ancient, watching moon, the very concept of time begins to soften, its sharp edges blurred by the sheer age of the light that touches your face. It is the same light that fell on legionaries returning home, on senators hurrying to the curia, on vestals tending their flame. That shared light connects you to them all across the vast silence of the centuries. And as the sky deepens from indigo to a velvety black, the first stars begin to appear, not one or two, but a slow, gradual scattering of sharp, bright points. They emerge not as a sudden spectacle, but one by quiet one, as if being gently breathed into existence by the night itself. First, a bright, steady beacon directly over the Palatine Hill. Then a small, twinkling cluster near the Arch of Titus. Soon, the entire dome of the sky is filled with their silent, slow-burning fire. This is your signal to let go. There is nothing more you need to see, nothing more you need to hold in your mind. Allow your eyes to close and let the darkness behind your eyelids merge with the darkness of the historic night. Feel the weight of the day beginning to dissolve, each star a tiny anchor point for a wandering thought, guiding it gently into the vast, peaceful quiet. The sun has kept his promise, and the moon now offers hers, a promise of deep and restorative rest, here under the same timeless sky that has watched over this sacred ground for millennia. Your path now leads you to a small, circular depression in the ancient stone, a place so modest you might easily pass it by. This is the shrine of Venus Clocina, a sacred spot dedicated to the spirit of the Cloaca Maxima, Rome's great sewer. It is a monument not to grandeur, but to flow. The word cloaca itself simply means sewer or drain, but to the Romans, it represented something far more profound, the necessary and sacred process of carrying away what was no longer needed. They honored the spirit who ensured that stagnant waters did not fester, that the city remained clean and healthy. This small shrine was a place of purification, where citizens would come to wash their coins and their hands, a ritual act of cleansing before entering the bustling market nearby. See it not as a place of filth, but as a place of release. Just as the clear water of a spring would wash over hands and coins, carrying away the grime of the city, so too can you release the mental clutter of your day. The anxieties that circle in your mind, the unresolved tasks, the lingering worries, are like stagnant water. They need a channel, a gentle but persistent current to carry them away. The genius of this place is its quiet reminder that flow is essential to peace. You do not need to fight your thoughts or wrestle them into submission. You simply need to allow them to move, to follow their natural course toward release, just as the water once did through the great stone channels beneath your feet. Let the quiet symbolism of this forgotten shrine be your guide. Feel the gentle pull of that ancient, invisible current, inviting every tangled thought to loosen, to soften, and finally, to flow peacefully away into the vast, accepting silence of the night. A final gentle ascent brings you to a wide, flat platform, its foundation stones almost level with the earth. This is all that remains of the Temple of Concord. Unlike the towering columns of other temples, this space feels horizontal, grounded, a place of quiet settlement rather than divine aspiration. It was built not to honor a god of war or harvest, but to celebrate a political agreement, a rare moment when the warring classes of Rome laid down their arms and chose harmony over conflict. The very word concord means hearts together, a union of minds. Can you feel the residue of that intention? It has not vanished with the marble. The air here is uniquely still, as if the ancient arguments were resolved so completely that their echoes were never permitted to form. This temple was a monument to a choice, the conscious decision to seek peace. That same choice is available to you now in the quiet of this night. Just as the Romans chose to end their strife, you can choose to let the inner conflicts of your day subside. The mental debates, the lists of things left undone, the quiet anxieties that pull your mind in different directions, they can all be laid down here. There is no need for them to stand guard through the night. Allow the spirit of this place, this profound and ancient agreement, to become your own internal state. Seek concord within your own mind, a truce between your thoughts and the coming rest. Let your breathing slow and deepen, each inhale and exhale a gentle ratification of this new peace. Feel the quiet not as an emptiness, but as a harmonious agreement between your body, your mind, and the deep, historic silence that holds you. This is the final preparation for sleep, a quiet alignment with the most restorative force of all, a heart and mind at peace with themselves. The profound quiet of the Forum is not an emptiness, but a canvas for the night's gentle sounds. A soft breeze stirs high in the branches of the cypress trees that stand like dark sentinels among the ruins. It is not a rushing wind, but a patient sigh that moves through the needle like leaves, creating a constant, low shushing sound, a natural whisper urging the world to rest. From somewhere on the Palatine Hill comes the resonant, questioning call of an owl. Its low, melodic hoot cuts cleanly through the silence, a solitary note that seems to measure the depth of the night before fading away, leaving the quiet even more profound than before. And rising from the grasses and hidden crevices of the ancient stones comes the steady, rhythmic chirping of crickets. This is not a frantic noise, but a patient, pulsing chorus, 1,000 tiny metronomes keeping time for the slow, turning earth. These sounds do not compete with the silence, they weave themselves into it, creating a rich, layered blanket of sound that envelops you completely. The rustle, the call, the chirp, they become a gentle, auditory lullaby. There is no need to identify each sound or trace its source, only to let them wash over you, each one a soothing thread in the tapestry of the night, pulling you deeper into a state of peaceful, weightless relaxation. Rising above the silent Forum, the Palatine Hill stands as a great, dark silhouette against the starry expanse. It is not merely a hill, but a sleeping giant, its slopes heavy with the ruins of imperial palaces and the deep, foundational dreams of the city itself. For centuries, this was the most exclusive address in the world, home to emperors who gazed down from its heights upon the teeming city below. Now, it does not look down with authority, but with a watchful, protective calm. Its presence is a silent guardianship, a promise that you are safe within this historic basin. The hill's broad shoulders block out the distant, faint glow of the modern city, creating a perfect, sheltered bowl of darkness and quiet below. All the scattered thoughts and lingering tensions of your day are small, fleeting things in the shadow of this ancient, enduring mass. It has seen the rise and fall of everything, and its long, slow exhalation is the very breath of the night. You can surrender completely to this feeling of being watched over, of being guarded by a history so deep and so complete that it asks nothing from you but your rest. Let your breathing sink with the hill's immense, patient stillness. There is no need to hold on any longer. The giant is awake in its silence, keeping vigil so that you, at last, can fully let go and sleep. The same stones that felt the weight of Caesar's sandals now support your own quiet steps. He is here, and so is Cicero, not as phantoms to be feared, but as peaceful presences whose long labors are done. Their ambitions, once so fierce and world-altering, have all been absorbed into the serene stillness of the Forum. Think of Marcus Tullius Cicero, whose voice could ignite a crowd from the rostra, his every word a carefully crafted weapon. That voice is silent now, its powerful echoes long since dissolved into the night air, leaving behind only the gentle memory of his passion for law and order. And Gaius Julius Caesar, whose political cunning and military genius redrew the map of the world, now rests here as well. the grand schemes that once consumed his every waking thought have found their final, quiet resolution in this peaceful dark. These men are no longer senators or generals, but part of the landscape itself, their stories woven into the tranquil fabric of the place like threads in a vast, soft tapestry. They are not restless spirits, but figures who have earned their rest, their immense energies finally spent and settled. Can you sense their collective sigh of relief? The great burdens of statecraft and destiny have been laid down. The endless debates, the strategic gambits, the sleepless nights of planning and worry, all of it is over. What remains is not the drama of their lives, but the profound peace that followed. Their presence is a comfort, a reminder that even the most powerful and driven souls eventually find their quiet. Let your mind drift among these peaceful ghosts, not to recall their battles, but to join them in their hard-won, eternal calm. Reach out and let your fingertips brush against the cool, rough surface of a travertine block. This stone, quarried from the earth centuries ago, feels solid and real beneath your touch. Its texture is uneven, pitted with the tiny scars of age, and weathered smooth in other places by endless seasons of sun and rain. The stone is cool, not with the chill of ice, but with the deep, steady cold of something that has spent the night under an open sky. Focus on this simple, physical sensation. The slight abrasion against your skin, the unyielding solidity of the ancient block. This is not an abstract piece of history, it is a physical anchor. In this moment, your entire world can shrink to this single point of contact. The frantic, circling thoughts of the day, the mental lists and the unresolved worries, they have no texture, no weight, no temperature. They are ghosts compared to this solid reality. By grounding your awareness in this one true sensation, you pull your mind away from its endless loops and into the quiet certainty of the present. The stone has been here for 2,000 years, and in this moment so are you, sharing its patient, unshakable calm. Let that calm travel from your fingertips up your arm and into your quieting mind, a gentle tide of stillness washing everything else away. A soft, distant murmur of water begins to weave through the quiet, a sound as clear and cool as the liquid it represents. This is the echo of the Aqua Marcia, an aqueduct that once carried pure mountain water over 50 miles to spill into fountains across the city. Picture that water not as a modern utility, but as a living ribbon of silver, born in the high, crisp air of the Apennine peaks. It flowed through stone channels and across towering arches, a constant, gentle journey from the wild heart of the mountains to the very center of Roman civilization. It was water meant for drinking, for bathing, for life itself, and its arrival in the Forum was a daily miracle of clarity and refreshment. Now, in the stillness, you can hear its ghost, a patient, trickling whisper that seems to rise from the very stones. Find a low, moss-covered wall where a public fountain once stood, its bronze spout long since vanished. Sit and listen. The sound is not a single note, but a complex, soothing melody of tiny splashes and persistent drips, a natural music composed over centuries. This is the sound that lulled the city to sleep each night, the same sound that can guide you now. Let the imagined coolness of that mountain water wash over your mind, carrying away the dust of the day. Each drop is a small, clear thought, falling into a deep, dark pool of silence, its ripples expanding gently until they touch the shores of sleep. There is nothing to do but listen, and let the ancient, nurturing rhythm of the water pull you deeper into the peace of the forgotten night. Find a soft patch of grass near the foundation of an old wall and lie back, letting the cool earth support you completely. Above, the sky is a vast, dark ocean, and the constellations are its ancient, fixed islands of light. There is Ursa Major, the Great Bear, its familiar ladle shape circling the northern pole star, a guide for every lost traveler since time began. And there, in the southern expanse, is Orion the Hunter. His belt of 3 bright stars are unmistakable signature in the winter sky. These are not just random patterns, they are the same stars that shone down on the legions marching along distant walls in Britannia, that guided ships across the dark Mediterranean, and that a lonely soldier on the German frontier would look up to, thinking of home. They watched over the empire in all its noise and grandeur, and now they watch over you in your silence. Your own worries, the deadlines and the inboxes are so small beneath this timeless canopy. The stars do not care for the rise and fall of empires, nor for the fleeting anxieties of a single human heart. Their light is old, patient, and profoundly constant. To lie here and share their light is to connect with an unbroken chain of human wonder, to feel your own small place in a story that is both ancient and eternal. Let that perspective soften the edges of your own concerns, allowing them to drift away into the infinite, star-dusted dark. Just ahead, a simple, circular altar stands surrounded by a low iron fence. This unassuming patch of ground is the altar of Caesar, the very spot where his body was laid upon a pyre and cremated. All the drama of his assassination, the political scheming, the shock that rippled across the Mediterranean, it all culminated here in fire and ash. But the noise of that history has long since burned away. What remains is not a site of violence or turmoil, but one of profound and quiet reverence. The air here feels still and settled, as if the flames themselves consumed all the chaos and left only a deep, enduring peace. This is a final resting place in the truest sense, a symbol of an end that, despite its initial tumult, ultimately brought a resolution. Every life, no matter how grand or consequential, finds its natural conclusion. The altar does not shout of a life cut short, but whispers of a journey completed. It encourages a gentle sense of closure, a calm acceptance that all things, even the most powerful stories, must eventually find their quiet. Stand here for a moment and feel that acceptance seep into your own being. The day is done, its tasks are complete, and whatever remains unfinished can be released, just as the smoke from that ancient pyre finally dissipated into the vast, forgiving sky. This is the peace that follows the storm, the quiet that comes after the final word has been spoken. Let it be a reminder that every ending makes space for rest. A distinct fragrance drifts on the cool night air, a subtle blend of the living and the ancient. It is the clean, slightly sweet scent of cypress, a crisp aroma like dried herbs and clean resin, weaving through the heavier, grounding smell of stone. This is not a simple dust, but the perfume of marble and travertine that has breathed for millennia, a dry, mineral scent that speaks of immense age and profound stability. Each inhalation feels like drawing in the very essence of permanence. The cypress offers a note of life, a gentle reminder of the gardens that once flourished here, while the stone provides the foundational bass note, the unchanging core of this sacred ground. Together, they create an aroma of deep peace, a sensory anchor that pulls you firmly into the present moment. This is the scent of time itself, patient and unhurried, carrying no urgency, only the quiet assurance that some things endure. Can you feel how this fragrant air seems to settle your own spirit? It is an invitation to release the fleeting worries of the day and align your own rhythm with the slow, steady breath of history. Let this ancient perfume be the only thing you hold in your mind, a natural incense that clears the clutter and prepares the heart for silence. A long, slow breath fills your lungs with the cool night air, a final, deep draft of the forum's ancient peace. It is time to turn away, to let the silent stones return to their solitary watch. Your footsteps pivot slowly on the smooth cobblestones, a reluctant but gentle reversal of your journey inward. Before you lies the path that will lead back to the hum of distant traffic and the glow of electric lights, but something fundamental has shifted within you. The profound quiet you found here is not a place you leave behind, it is a state you now carry. Pause for one last look over your shoulder. The entire scene is bathed in the moon's soft silver, the broken columns and arches standing as serene, dark cutouts against the starry sky. It is a picture of perfect stillness, a memory you can now fold into the quiet corners of your mind. As you walk, the crunch of gravel under your feet marks a gradual return, but the frantic pace of the modern world feels softer now, its edges blurred by the deep calm you have absorbed. The peace of the Forum walks with you, a steady, silent companion for the journey home and the restful night ahead. Let its timeless quiet be the blanket that wraps your thoughts, a lasting gift from the sleeping heart of Rome. And so the silent stones of the Forum begin to fade, their ancient presence gently receding like the softest of echoes. You feel the cool, smooth sheets of your own bed beneath you now, the familiar weight of your blanket, the safe and quiet darkness of your room. The journey through that historic quiet is complete, but its profound calm remains, a deep and settled peace that has traveled back with you across the centuries. Every quiet step along the sacred way, every moment of stillness in the Senate House, every gentle release at the shrine of flowing water has woven a tapestry of tranquility around your mind. You are safe, held in the quiet of the present, just as you were held in the immense, sleeping silence of the past. All the clamor of the day, all its demands and distractions have been left behind among those moonlit ruins. There is nothing more to hold on to, nothing more to carry. Your breathing is slow and deep, your body heavy and relaxed. The entire world feels distant and soft. Let the last gentle currents of thought drift away, releasing you completely into the waiting embrace of rest. The long, quiet walk is over. The peace you found there is now yours to keep. May it carry you into a deep, restorative, and dreamless sleep. Good night.